First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the name of this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is the name of this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashim means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Quadash means holy. That's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me his truth. So today's lesson, I wanted to go into how all the curses that came upon the Israelites are now coming upon our enemies. And we're seeing that, right? I was watching a video earlier, and it was pretty much this compilation of the American man and American women, right? Edomites, pretty much, going into how the living situation is just insane, and that everything's getting out of proportion, gas is getting expensive, and that living here in America is just not possible, right? And it's funny that now they're coming out and saying this. They're looking for help, right? Telling people, come send me money on my GoFundMe. Okay, but where was everyone at when the Israelite man and woman was going through this? Right? Where was the help when the so-called Negro, Latin American, right? That's when the so-called Negro, Latino, and the Native American was getting oppressed, and when they had it hard. Where was the help for them? Right? Where was the cry? Okay? And as the scriptures go into, right, this is all prophetic, and this is how it was supposed to be played out. Right? All the curses that came upon us are going to come upon our enemies for the way that they looked at us and ultimately destroyed us. Because we know that the Lord, Yahweh, he is a just balance. Right? He is a just balance. And a lot of people, they see all this wickedness going on in the earth right now, and they say, how long more? Right? How long more is this wickedness going to go without being unpunished? But we know when that punishment comes, and it's coming, right? It's going to be very, very needed. And it's going to be, it's going to be perfect. Okay? Because we already see the society crumbling. We see all these nations getting mad, right? We see all the prophecies lining up. Okay? And ultimately, the biggest prophecy is when the kingdom of heaven is established. And, in that day, all the curses that were on us are going to be fully on our enemies. We're talking about slavery, man. All these nations are going to have to go to slavery. But we're seeing it now at a very small level. Okay? Let's get some scriptures on that. Let's get the main scripture in Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, verse 7, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Okay? And we're seeing that right now. Right, all the curses of not being able to get day by day, right? Constantly not finding ease, right? Under your oppressors, having to pay, or subject to payments, okay? Pretty much not knowing if you're going to make it. Always in that state of fight or flight, right? All our enemies are coming into that, and especially the Edomite over here in America, Babylon the Great. The regular American is feeling the collapse, man. They're feeling that pressure. But what they don't come to understand is that the Israelite man and woman have been feeling this the entire time we've been here. And it's only righteous they feel it too. Okay? Because they're in that sense of entitlement of, why am I going through this? Right? I'm white. Why am I going through this? I should be privileged. I shouldn't have to deal with a hard life. Right? Because they have that entitlement of generational wealth that came from slavery. Okay? But now, all that blood, all that money has been running out, right? That generational wealth is coming to an end because of the inflation and the ways of living. Everything is rising and getting harder, and these people are really feeling it. Okay, there's no more middle class anymore. It's just the poor and the rich, and the rich keep getting richer, and the poor keep getting poorer. So we're seeing this global tilt, right? A global shift in the economy and then the mindset of people, right? That's why it says in Isaiah 4:1, 7 women shall take hold of one man, because they're not going to be in this feminized Western ideology anymore, right? When shit starts hitting the fan and all these curses start coming up even harder on everybody, on everybody, we're going to see some true order come back. Let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. That's exactly what we're waiting for, right? That's exactly what we're waiting for. We're waiting patiently, right? Patiently to see the fall of our enemies. And we're seeing it right now on a very small level, right? We're seeing the general people starting to panic, starting to ask for answers, saying that this government is fucking us over. But like I said earlier, they weren't saying that when they were over here going out on boat parties. They had money to spend on whatever they wanted. They weren't saying that. While the Negro, Latino, the Native American were in this condition in the first place to begin with. You see what I'm saying? But hey, as it says, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And ultimately, you know what this is? This is a perfect precept to tie into this. Revelation 13, verse 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right? Just how we read. Right? We're patiently waiting to see the fall of our enemies. We're patiently waiting to see these Edomites, right? These other nations that have oppressed us, hey, hit the fucking road, man. Right? Pretty much collapse. Right? We want to see them go into captivity. We want to see them get destroyed because of all the things that they have done to us. For the mentality they've had towards Israel. Let's get that precept. Right? Because it all ties together. Let's get that in Lamentations chapter 2. And I'll start at verse 15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. And this is talking about the other nations looking at the Israelites, the state of the Israelite man and woman. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Right? And Jerusalem is a place, or is a people before it's a place. Right? This is talking about how all the nations look at us and are saying, wow, is this the chosen of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai? There's no way. Right? Look at these people. Look how through they are. Right? Woman over the man, woman telling them what they do. Right? Because that's how a lot of nations look at us. Right? They look at the woman. Because your woman is a very good representation of how you are as a man. Right? If you, example, you see a woman out here in public and she's just talking back at her man, right? Acting out of pocket. What do you know then? What do you know about the man just off that? You know that he's not applying rule and he doesn't have a standard, right? He lets that shit fly, right? Because if for your girl to be doing that in public, that means she has to be doing it 10 times more in private, man. So they look at the state of the Israelite man and woman and they just laugh, right? They hiss and wag and saying, is this supposed to be the chosen of the earth? And verse 16 says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. Okay? And ultimately, that's the mentality they're in. Right? All those Elamites, those Indians over there in the hood, right? Taking advantage of Jake. Right? Pretty much helping them destroy themselves. Right? They all look at them and all they see is money. Right? They go, oh yeah, let's set up in the hood. Yeah, all these gangbangers are gonna buy liquor off us, right? They're gonna buy wraps. Okay, that's how they look at us, right? They just look at us as a commodity, and that's ultimately because we're under the curses. But the whole point of the video, Deuteronomy 30:7. Hey, it's all getting rejoiced. It's all getting reversed, and we're seeing it here in 2023. Okay, but let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. Or it says verse 6, yeah, it says, seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Okay? Everything, all this tribulation that these heathen, these other nations have put on us, hey, he's gonna recompense us. That means he's gonna put it on them. Right? He's gonna pretty much what's another synonym? A synonym. right? He's pretty much going to get our lig back, right? Talking with the hood slang, right? He's going to come and protect us. All that trouble they put on us, they're going to catch it too. Because what does scripture say, right? You reap what you sow. All this wickedness that they've done, hey, at one point it's going to come back to catch them, right? Karma. But, hey, it's all a thing about waiting and having patience. And it's beautiful that these Edomites, right, the people of America that were once living so deliciously, are coming back and pretty much, hey, they're asking for help. They're coming up on TikTok crying, right, saying it's impossible to live here in America, right? America, the government is fucking us over. And how am I supposed to feed my children, right? This is a beautiful thing to see the fall of your enemies, man. And ultimately, you have to be in a righteous spirit to speak this song, okay? Because a modern person will look at you, look at the words I'm speaking, and say that's hate. Oh, that's hate what you're saying, right? And that's not what God, that's not a heavenly thing to say, okay? But what they don't understand is that Yahweh, right, the Lord, is a just balance, right? He made evil to justify righteousness, okay? This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1. It says, woe, and woe means destruction. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Right, and this is talking about the other nations. Right, we haven't really done anything to them, and they're over here destroying us just because they want to, just because they have the opportunity. So destruction upon those people for doing that. Okay, let's keep reading. It says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. Right? When all their glamour and their glitz and the mirth they have comes to an end, hey, they're going to get that destruction. It says, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay? Deuteronomy 30:7 again. Right? All those curses are going to come upon them. And we're seeing it once again. Okay, I want to elaborate that point. Let me see if I have any more scriptures here. Lamentation 2:16, Isaiah 33, Deuteronomy, 2 Thessalonians, and Ecclesiasticus. Right, the point has been proven. Okay, but hey, this is beautiful. This is beautiful times that we're living in. Because let's get one more scripture. In Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. This is why it's a beautiful thing. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now our salvation is nearer than when we believed. Right? We see all the prophecies coming to pass. We see the destruction and the fall of this society, of this economy, of these devils. And ultimately, the faster this goes, the faster the kingdom of heaven is established, and righteousness, everything we've ever wanted in life, is going to come to us, the Israelites. But that was the point for this lesson. Hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone at Tommy's Truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.